you tell us what are some of the key national policies and laws currently in place to address drug and substance use in Nigeria? And then talk to us about the strengths and weaknesses based on the efforts of the work from the NDLEA as well as data availability.
We are talking about the enabling laws geared towards confronting the menace of drug use in Nigeria. You will understand that the NDLEA itself is not just a government agency. It is an international agency because it was set up as a result of the numerous bilateral and multilateral treaties signed by the federal government of Nigeria as UN conventions on illicit drugs and other substances. And so you will understand the genealogy of the existence of the NDLEA when you read about the 1988 United Nations and Convention on Narcotics and Psychotropic Substances that actually gave room for the creation and the establishment of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency under the military regime of past military head of state, General Babangida. Now, from then, the NDLEA Act was formed, created under a decree initially, and now is an amended act of the National Assembly, and now that is what gives the NDLEA the power to function as it is. But then, the NDLEA doesn't function alone because it came into existence as a result of the international treaties, a United Nations Convention. It is very difficult for anybody to tamper with the mandate of the NDLEA because it will take an international dimension when the chips are down. And apart from that, the federal government did very well by setting up an interministerial committee, having realized that the NDLEA as an agency cannot handle the issue of the drug scourge and menace in Nigeria alone. I know it has to take a collective and holistic approach. And in doing that, the Interministerial Committee on Drug in Nigeria set up the National Control Strategy. And the National Control Strategy metamorphosed into what we now know as the National Drug NDCMP, the National Drug Master Plan, which we now have today with 4 pillars. And having said that, that is one major instrument of government that is being used to approach the issue of drug scourge in Nigeria holistically, because every ministry and department and agency of the federal government is involved, is represented under the IMC, and they give report quarterly to the agency, which our chairman is the chair of the IMC, and they meet quarterly to say, okay, from our own agency, from our own ministry, from our own parastatal of government, this is what we've been able to achieve. And of course, the civil societies are involved, NGOs are involved, private individuals who are into drug use, anti-drug use advocacy, they are all involved. And that's why I said it's a collective and holistic effort to tackle this menace and scourge. And so, you know, it's many. Then apart from that, recently, under the guidance and leadership of our current chairman, his distinguished chairman, Brigadier General Buba Marwa, retired, he was able to set up the war against drug abuse, WADA, actually endorsed and stamped by the former president, may he so rest in peace, President Muhammadu Buhari, and that has been in existence since 2021. Now it is this WADA that goes into the nook and crannies to carry out those anti-drug use campaign and advocacy in secondary and primary school and other religious and traditional institutions that I just reeled out one of the data to you just now. And so, aside that, again, the chairman felt, the IMC, the NDCMP, and WADA is not enough. And they decided to set up the State Drug Control Committee. And the State Drug Control Committee was handed over to the spouses of Nigerian governors. And you know, so the Nigerian Governor Spouses Forum handles the SDCC, the State Drug Control Committees, and they work with all the state commanders across the country to make sure that programs geared towards drug use prevention and education spreads across all the local government of their states. Though some first ladies and spouses of governors are yet to key in, but we are hoping they do key in. And about those who have key in, they are doing wonderfully well, and we can attest to that by the last meeting, which was held, I think just this past May in Abuja here, where they all came together to look at what they have done so far and also introduce the new spouses of governors who just came into office into the committee.